This.
Yeah, so this is what they call Westbouwweg. And this is actually an underground parking facility for bikes. So as you can see, 1200 plaatsen, so 1200 bikes can park here.
Wow.
It's also free, so that means that the government is actually paying for it. Right.
Unbelievable.
How you get a bike? How you rent a bike? Or just take one?
Yes, so these are just these are actually private bikes, but inside they have actually public transport.
On our WithLocals tour with.
Yes, my name is Silvino, but you can also call me Fino. What I just said, Fino, Spanish word for wine. So if you guys like wine, you'll also like me.
I like that. Hi.
And ciao.
Yeah.
We Dutch are very entrepreneurial, and in the Adam Tower, the first floors, the first 8 floors, are for small local creative entrepreneurs. So what I'm always saying, just come up with a very creative idea how to get your bike back. Start your business in the Adam Tower. You can reach your office by ferry, by boat, and I can promise you will be a millionaire in a year.
Yeah, yeah.
By just having a creative idea.
Right, yeah.
And this is also a startup city. So you have nowadays lots of startups, and especially in the creative sector.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Okay.
But how can you find your bike back? I would say you just have to
Memory.
take a picture, or
Yeah.
you have a great memory. But I still have that memory. So you've seen the underground facility? This is actually what we claim to be the first bike flat in the world. So as you can see, it's a 3-level storage. Over there, Westbouwweg, 1200 bikes can park there. But how many bikes do you think can park here? And of course, you can start counting, but I don't think we will make it to the end of the tour. So you can just guess it.
Yeah. Wow.
Café is the French word for coffee. Yeah, coffee. So in this cafes, you can, or bars, pubs, you can grab a coffee, tea, alcohol, or Dutch finger food, snacks. So we also have coffee shops, and that's actually more for the the pot, the marijuana, the hashish. But I will actually share more about the coffee shop later on. Canal cruises that are cheaper.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so over there they are charging 16 euros. Over here only 12 euros per person. And I'm always saying you have your bag with you, so just buy your drinks from one of the grocery stores and take them on the boat, so you can save some money.
Yeah.
And they actually all have the same route. So today I wouldn't do this one, the big boat, but more the open boat. Because with the open boat you have a much better view and it's not so warm inside.
Yeah.
So they actually live in Chinese. It means that you are situated in Chinatown. So this street is not translated. So this street means that this is not part of it, and this street is part of Chinatown. But what I would like to show you is this part. So do you also see the difference between this building and the other buildings in this block?
Yeah. This is wood.
It's wood. Yeah. Actually, in this time, all buildings were built of wood. But due to a few city fires, there are only 2 wooden buildings still standing in Amsterdam. And this is one of them. But this is also the unofficial oldest bar in town.
Yeah.
So let's have a closer look. Yeah. So you remember Café Carperswood, right? The bar was from 1606. So this bar is actually way older. It's the unofficial oldest bar. So again, I would like to know from you, when do you think this bar was established? And to be sure that I'm not the one who's lying, you can actually read it somewhere, but it's written very, very, very small.
Okay. I see it.
Yeah?
25.
No?
Oh, 1525.
No?
1625.
No?
1825.
No? I will help you.
18.
Have a look above the door. But it's written very small.
1519?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so can you please stand here? So this is actually the quiz question.
Okay.
Yeah, so this bar is from 1519, but I just make you read that they claim that they are the oldest bar in town.
Right.
So someone is lying, and again, it's not Fino. So why is this the unofficial oldest bar? And I have three options to make it easy. So is it A, 1519 is fake, it should be 1619, it's fake news. Is it B, the owner didn't register at the Chamber of Commerce? Or is it C, the owner didn't pay his taxes? See?
B.
Yeah. Again, one thing you should know about the Dutch way is when you don't pay, we try to pay less. We are careful of our wallet.
Yeah.
So the thing about this bar, the history behind this bar, is that this also used to be a sailor's bar. Actually, all bars in the street used to be sailor's bars, so they could organize their own pub crawls. But what happened in this bar, the people that are sitting right here, they were drinking beers, some more beers, and eventually some more beers. But what happened at the end of the night is that they couldn't pay their bill with cash. But what they brought from overseas, from South Africa, which was a Dutch colony, from Indonesia, or from Suriname, that were exotic monkeys. And exotic monkeys were worth a lot at that time. And that's also the meaning of Apien. Apien actually means ape or monkey. So the owner of the bar just told them, shh, just hand over your monkeys so I can sell them on the black market, so you don't have to pay with cash. So that's the reason why this bar is actually called Café in het Apien, and it actually literally means in the monkey. And what I love most is now 2019, so that means that this bar is exactly 500 years old. So can you imagine how it must be 500 years ago? People were actually also sitting down here. I don't know where they were talking about, but one thing I know for sure, they had some fun. And this is also this is my second favorite bar, and what I love most about it, you can actually hear their accent. Most people are Dutch because they are not. There's not a TripAdvisor sticker on it yet, so they have fair prices. But local people also like to come to this bar.
Very good.
So I can also recommend this bar. Yeah. So one thing you should know during this tour, I have to excuse myself, but during the tour, I would say in Amsterdam everything is the first, the oldest, or the best. So excuse me for that.
Yeah.
Well, this is actually the first Chinatown from Europe, and the reason why is that the former port or harbor was actually situated in Amsterdam, but due to the lack of space, they moved from Amsterdam to Rotterdam, which is now the biggest port from Europe.
DJI Osmo.
Yeah, view from Amsterdam. Yeah, I haven't seen this one yet. Amstel. And the reason why they built a dam in River Amstel is that not only Amsterdam, but also 40% of the Netherlands is below sea level. And nether actually means lower lying. So we are a lower lying land. So that's what I love most about this view, is not for the boats, but more for the canals. Because you've just been to Venice. But one thing you should know about Venice, and I already told you, we claim in everything to be the best, is that we are also known as the Venice of the North. But keep in mind that Venice only has 400 canals, we have over 1200. And when it starts raining, most rainwater will get back into the river. From this river, it goes back to the main river called River het IJ or River Amstel. So actually, I would say it doesn't flooding at all. It doesn't flood it at all. And from what I've heard from my friends from Venice, when it starts raining, but don't tell them.
The water go like this. You what? You put like plastic bag. And boots to work. Just go home.
But that doesn't happen in Amsterdam, and that's the reason why there are so many canals. So it's just a regulation way to regulate the water level. A typical Dutch restaurant.
Maybe we should get a pizza or something, or a burger.
We're progressive, but we don't kill.
Okay.
Or not anymore.
I think I would say because the buildings are there were no elevators. So
Okay. That's a good thing.
That's a good guess.
So this is where we begin with. So actually to bring stuff up, so furniture or other things. But why do you think they use this system? To think about the Dutch way. Think about the bar. Think about the reason why that bar is the unofficial oldest bar. No?
So it's like under the table.
Almost.
Stuff.
Not the monkey,
The
but
red marker,
something else. Okay, I will help you.
please.
So in 1600, the 17th century, there was a new law. And this law says you have to pay taxes based on the width of the front side of your house.
What?
And I already told you we don't like to spend money. So what actually happened, as you can see this door, this staircase, you cannot bring your furniture up because it's a 2 or 3 level apartment. Yeah. So again, you've seen the first bar, the oldest bar, the unofficial oldest bar, but this is the biggest Buddhistic temple in Europe, still in Chinatown. And this temple is actually open every day from 12 to 5, and mainly the public area is also open for visitors that would like to know more about the Buddhistic culture. So this is the symbol of the soccer club from Ajax. But what I want to show you is something else. And that's the Dutch way of saying, hey, don't take pictures. But it all has to do with this, respect the ladies. And you can actually read it down here. So it's actually a collaboration because there were many people taking pictures of the girls. And I'm always saying we have to respect the ladies. The people that were being killed during the Second World War. So from 1939 till 1945. But on the other side you will see 1940, because in 1940 we got invaded by the Germans. So because of that, every 4th of May we have a Memorial Day where our king and queen come to this square in front of one of their palaces. So this is what they call Paleis op de Dam, Palace on the Dam. And it started in 1650 as a city hall, but it's nowadays part of the Dutch Kingdom of the Netherlands. Because as I already told you, we have the Netherlands as a country, but also the kingdom as a institution. Because just like United Kingdom, you're also a kingdom. So have you heard about the ABC Islands? So Aruba, Bonaire, and Curaçao. And the Triple S Islands, St. Eustatius, St. Martin, and Saba. So those are 6 islands that are part of the Dutch Kingdom, with around 200,000 inhabitants, and they all have a Dutch passport, but they are in the Caribbean. So what I actually would like to
these boats and arks, they came here in big numbers in the 50s. We had a big housing problem back at the time, and this used to be poolman houses. So the pool people sailed in their boats or pushed in their arks. Like this we call house arks on the left and right. These are no boats, they are buildings on a concrete platform. Until the late 70s, because then there were sometimes 2, 3 or even 4 boats next to each other on both sides of the canal. And that was a problem because then we couldn't sail the canals no more. So then the city came in action, they told all the double ones away, and the ones which are here right now, they all have a license. No extra license will be given out no more. So it makes the existing ones pretty exclusive and unique. There are about 2,200. So was everybody here also yesterday? Because yesterday we had the first subtropical day. It was hot, eh? Oh yeah, it was absolutely good. And in the end it was raining, eh?
Yeah. Sat outside of the bar and it just started pouring rain, and then it was like thundering and lightning in 5 minutes. Over 5 minutes. Like the floor is like, are you guys in Florida? No, the floor is like that. I'm from Miami.
Miami, Florida. Yeah. So, if you get cold later, I have these blankets for you. Because in Florida, for you it's normal weather. Or not?
Yeah, it's normal. Yeah.
This is also more 5-star hotels, but here are mostly, lots of big stars are here in the hotel, but in the center we also have some 5-star. Some guests rather like to stay directly in the center. Here I have it. So you know what this costs? So what this boat is for sale, what do you think the price would be? It has around 120 square meters of living space.
$1 million?
1.5 million. 1.5. So probably the boat is worth maybe 200,000-300,000, I think. The rest is purely for the license. And this is then also a very good spot, of course. This is the middle of Amsterdam. On the other end, daily hundreds or thousands of boats are passing by your window.
We have a question down
Yeah,
there.
good.
People who live in boats, do they ever
Sail? No. The boats always stay because they are also connected to the sewer, everything. So they can undock. I'm sorry? No. Because they all came here. They came, of course, not with a crane or so. Maybe these big ones that they built later on, but I also don't think so. But they can lower them with water or sand. So they have all become over the water. Also, the arks are maintained where they are. But the houseboats, they do leave once in the 7 years, because then they need to go out of the water, and the bottom needs to be handled with a certain paint or all that.
Thank you.
No, we stay.
It's called the coin tower because the coins of Amsterdam were made here. When the hook and the rope was used, that the load wouldn't hurt the building or the windows. You see that very good here on the back side. You see the buildings healing. Lekker hoor. Here we pass by the Bulldog Hotel. And the Bulldog, it's not only a hotel, it's also a chain of coffee shops. You probably already saw. And there's a strange thing with the coffee shops in Amsterdam, not only in Amsterdam, everywhere in Holland, is they all have a license, so it's legal for them to sell soft drugs, legal for us to buy it, but it's illegal for coffee shops to buy soft drugs. Now, why is that? It's forbidden to grow marijuana in Holland. So there's also no growing under governmental supervision or so. So all the consumed and sold marijuana comes from the black illegal circuit. We call it the backdoor policy. So the coffee shops that buy on the illegal market through the back door sell them in the coffee shops under the license. But there's one thing. Like normal people, they are allowed to carry 30 grams of marijuana. You can smoke a day of joints, or a day of 30. The 30 grams is very much. But the coffee shops, they are allowed to have 500 grams inside, due to the license they have. But a busy coffee shop can sell like 2 or 3 kilos on a day, on a busy day. So this means, because the police controls on the 500 grams. So to run a coffee shop, you have to have a stash house, or more stash houses, where you keep the product. Now, if the police comes in and they catch you with 20 or 50 kilos, everything is confiscated and destroyed, and you brought to court for drug dealing. So it's a bit a strange system.
Yeah.
To say so.
Gray area.
Yeah, gray area.
What does that say about
I'll go pet that has the line. Shot time.
Gezondheid!
Cheers.
Central Station, and at the back of Central Station, the river Het IJ is flushing. Now, if you go to Central Station, you see Het IJ, you can take there a ferry, which brings you across Het IJ, and it brings you in the north of Amsterdam. So Amsterdam North is divided by Het IJ.
We're going to NDSM right now. Come on in. We're in the ferry. We're in the ferry. It's very quiet. See you later. Alright, we made it to NDSM by ferry. Across the water from Amsterdam Central.
Ferry, that is free.
Yeah, free ferry. And now we're gonna look at some street art, murals, graffiti, whatever, and have lunch. Look, you can run back to here. We should do that here.
Maybe right back.
Here's some art here. But first, we're gonna stop and get some lunch
Oh yeah.
at Plug. I don't know how to say it. But
What is?
should be cool.
What is that?
It's the restaurant name. Actually, I think we're supposed to walk down more that way. Let's go. Alright.
Move.
Peace out.
Picture. I don't know if you noticed, but didn't we after his look?